somebody does care about, people's mental health, and I
Yeah.
treat my guys like, you know, I filter a lot. I become the filter and I just give them what the information they need to know. I don't tell them the good, bad, the ugly about what's going on, because I don't feel like they need that stress on them a lot of times. Hey, this customer's angry, or this, if we don't meet this dollar amount, or if we don't do this, I just don't give them that information because I don't feel it's something they should have to worry about. So a lot of that's capped off with me, and I don't have anywhere to I don't have anywhere to push that to besides, my family or my wife, or tell
Yeah.
her kind of what's going on. But when I go to somewhere like a Bixie conference, or I go somewhere and I can meet with other integrators or other owners, then you can kind of get rid of some of that. What are y'all doing? And, find out. It's just good to talk about it more than it is anything, just to, you know, find out what's the best thing to do, or how do other people deal with stuff like that.
Yeah. How long have you been running your own business?
Um, Part time, probably 12 years, but full time, I'm in my eighth year.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you
Yeah,
used to work for a company like a telco
I
or?
did. Yeah, I
Yeah.
worked. I worked for ISP. Well, I worked for AT&T
Yeah.
as a technician. Then I worked for a smaller integrator, integration company. They were probably at the time like about a $2 to $3 million company, but they only had like maybe 30 people that worked there, and that was a very stressful place to be because there was a lot of finger pointing, a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of a lot of
Yeah.
like you got to do this better, you got to do that better, and it was a real high stress environment,
Yeah. Is
mainly
that why
because
you left?
oh yeah, yeah, I just didn't like it, and I didn't really feel like part of the cool kids group. I was just kind of like, I wasn't from the city everybody was from, and I wasn't part of their core group, so it just
Yeah.
didn't feel like I was part of it. So that's those two reasons, pretty much the reasons I left.
Yeah. But so you like being a business owner more so
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
point.
I
Yeah.
like I like being a small business owner, I guess you want to say,
Yeah.
because I purposefully don't do large jobs because I know there's an extra stress level with that. Plus, the margins are not near as high on a lot of your bigger projects.
Yeah.
You look at something that's 5 or 10 points, 5 or 10. I don't want to go work for 5 or 10% on a job when I can go do camera systems or something to make 50%. It just doesn't make sense. I'm not going to waste my time to make 10%. So I purposefully sought out that small medium business market to fill the gaps and to make that my primary, you know, core business.
Yeah.
So, but that comes with a lot. When you do small medium business, then you deal with other business owners a lot of time, and you deal with. Then they want you to do stuff at their house, and then you become kind of the all-in-one person for you know two things that they have going on, and then you get 500 of those, 600 of those, 700 of those, and then it's just like they're calling you all the time about little nitpicky stuff.
Yeah. What do you think's like your biggest pain point right now? Is it business? Is it customers?
Uh,
Just like you got too much going
it
on or
comes and
like,
goes. It comes and goes. I say the biggest pain point is when multiple things hit at one time.
yeah.
So, like if I have 4 or 5 troubles come in back to back, and I can't resolve one before I have to get to another,
Yeah.
that's really what makes me, and it's really probably just me, but that's what makes me the angriest, where I show most of my frustration when I
Yeah.
can't solve one thing before I get to another, and then it just unloads on me.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8 things come in at one time, phone calls or a text,
Yeah.
and I don't have time to respond to one before I can get to the other.
Yeah.
That's real.
So you're like on site, and then I know you got like those earbuds or whatever, like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
DeWalt, like ear
yeah.
pieces. And then,
I
so
got those. Yeah,
you're
I got
probably
them.
taking a phone call. You're probably like, yeah, you got them on right now.
Yeah, yeah,
You're probably in like a closet doing some like alarm or something. You get a phone call, and then you're trying to
yeah,
like do both at the same time, right? Is that how
yeah.
you do
And then
it?
I get a text, and then one of my guys is texting me about a trouble he's on, and they got to help him. That's super frustrating, and I have to just kind of take a deep breath and move on because
Yeah.
it will. That's really the biggest pain point is I don't have anybody to push off on like, hey, call Bob, you know, because I just don't have that person. I am that person for multiple people, and that's what I don't have. I just think I don't get a break when that happens. But
Yeah.
the good thing is a lot of times I'm by 3 o'clock I'm almost done for the day. With the majority of what I have to do, and I can take that time and pick my daughter up from school or go to tennis practice or do things with her. So that's the benefit of being the business owner. I can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like you need to delegate some more stuff. Do you have any
yeah, I
plans?
know, but still, that's one of those things where some people just only want so much responsibility, and if you put that on them, they'll quit or they'll crack.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to happen to the people that I have because I got a good team. They do really good at what they do, and that's what they want to do. They don't want to do anymore a lot, So yeah.
Yeah. Are you feeling the pain of like the economy right now? Is that, I know some people are hurting pretty bad from
Really,
that. Like,
we've had constant work. I mean, we don't run out of work. The pain point comes from the way the money flows a lot of time because if I order parts on a job and we can't get to that job for 4 weeks, then I already owe for that materials before we've even started on the job. Because if I'm on a 30-day term with the distributor or my credit card, I've already got to pay for that material. And then we can't start on that job for 30 days. All right. Then we work on that job for a week or 2 weeks or whatever. Then I bill it out. Then they're either on a 30 or 60-day window for their payments. So I've already paid for that job. And then 90 days later, I'm going to get paid at a minimum 90 days later.
yeah.
So, and then so when you do that times 30 or 40 projects, whether they're small or big, you're out a lot of money for that time period and then getting it back in. And then by the time you get it back in, it's already spent.
Yep.
So that's one of the biggest pain points is how to manage the money, because my number one thing is I got to pay my guys.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Always have to, there's no way around that. They have to be paid first. And I don't ever want to get to the point where I can't do that, but
Yeah.
you got to play that. That's the biggest game is the money game. And then so for 3 or 4 months you'll be riding high, and then for 3 or 4 months you'll just be down in the pits because you're like, dang, my credit cards I owe $150,000 on this, and I owe, my line of credit is getting close to being maxed out. And then you start getting paid for jobs, and you're like, man, I got some breathing room. So right now I'm in a breathing room pattern. I'm good right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Does that keep you up at night?
it used to.
Yeah.
It used to. I don't let the money part bother me anymore because I've learned that that's just the rotation of the business. That's just how it's going to be. You can't help it unless you just have just wads of cash in the bank to pre-buy everything.
Yeah.
So it's basically I self-finance all my jobs.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it boils down to. You have
Yeah.
to self-finance your jobs.
Yeah. I'm seeing a ton of people like in the Facebook group and posting, like you said, people posting online, but they're like, hey, I need work. Like there's a lot of people, which is kind of weird because I thought we were in a technician shortage.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, there's to me, there's just too much work right now. I mean, there's just a ton of work. I don't have a problem getting to work. It's for getting it done in a quick enough amount of time, and then whether you want to choose to hire somebody or not hire a person, you don't want to hire them knowing you got to get rid of them in 3 months or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk coping. Like, what do you do like to stay like mentally fit and like deal with all this stuff? Are you on, I know
um,
you're on a diet, not a diet, but like a lifestyle
yeah,
change
yeah. That
recently.
that has helped a lot, because being mentally strong in other parts of your life flows over to your work and to anything else. So yes, like a year and a half ago, I guess by following kind of what you do and watched kind of your progression in health, mental health, or just physical health. I went on this pretty much carnivore diet uh, to kick things off, and then basically eliminated all processed foods, all
Mm-hmm.
sugars. And I did that really hardcore for like 6 to 8 months. I mean, it
Yeah.
was from most of 2023. I did that, followed that. And dude, it was just like, once all the toxins and all that junk get out of your body, you can think a lot clearer.
It's
And then
crazy.
you gain that mental edge over yourself, because you realize how much control you're in of your own body. If you can't control your own brain to say I'm not going to eat a McDonald's hamburger, then you can't control your brain to say I'm not going to, lose my cool and yell at somebody. You really learn that helps when you have that control over yourself. So that has helped a tremendous amount. My sleep is way better than it used to be. Just during the day, I don't get foggy, and I don't feel like I got to take a nap. I don't have to drink 10 cups of coffee a day like I used to. Although the wintertime, I like to have more
Yeah.
coffee than I do in the summertime.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the way I cope with at the end of the day, I just have to find an outlet where I free my brain. Um, it's typically done by cooking. Like I love to cook.
Yeah.
So well, people go play golf, or, they go to the gym and all that. I love to cook different stuff. I may not eat it all, but I like to cook it all for other people. So, um, and then so that really does help, having that self-discipline, flow from one part of your life to another. It really, really does. What about you?
Yeah. With eating processed food,
Yeah.
like you said, it is like the worst. I
Yeah.
start sweating. Like if I eat, because
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
a little apple fritter this morning for my birthday. They gave it to me for free at the
Yeah.
coffee
Yeah.
shop for my
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah.
And I ate it and I was like, I started sweating. I was like, holy shit, like what is in this thing?
All that
And
sugar, man.
I felt, I know, because I don't eat much sugar.
Yeah.
And I started feeling like crap. But I
Yeah.
remember back in the day, like when I was in the field and we would stop at the gas station, gas up the
Oh
work
yeah.
van, and I'd be
Yeah.
getting like Slim Jims and like the hot dogs and like a bunch of energy drinks. And like, I don't know
Big old
how,
honey buns with the icing on
man,
them.
we were so unhealthy. And then traveling was even worse with all like the
Yeah. Yeah.
drinking, like
Yeah.
getting like drunk every night, like after the work, and then like going to the job site, like, oh God, here we go.
That would be atrocious. Luckily, I can say I've never been I've never actually been drunk. I can say that.
What?
I've
Are
never
you
did
serious?
drugs.
That's awesome.
I don't, you probably look at me and say that guy's a hippie and he's been high his whole life.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I've actually never done any drugs at all. Um, and alcohol has never been a part of my life. Really and truthfully, I think that stems from being a teenager, and we were poor, so I couldn't afford alcohol if I wanted it, and then like my buddies that did drink, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to be like that, I don't know if I want to act like that. So some of them were just crazy, man, they just do crazy stuff. So I just enjoyed watching them more than anything. So,
Oh my God. Well, I'm
so
glad. Yeah, I'm
I don't
glad.
have that. I've never had that dependency, and that addiction, which I think is a good thing. Because I know it's really hard on a lot of people to deal with that. But luckily, I've never had that as part of my. And I think that's one thing that helps with being mentally strong is always being able to say no when I did. when I didn't care to take part of anything.
Yeah.
Somebody offer you something, you say no, no big deal. Y'all have fun, and I'm gonna sit here and drink my coffee or do whatever. And so yeah, that had never been an issue with me, but food definitely was a big thing. And as a child, that was, as a child, I'd say chunky. We shopped at Walmart. I had to hit the husky section several times.
What?
So the husky. So that always puts you in a position where you feel very self-conscious about yourself.
Yeah.
And that leads to other things like being self-conscious. You want to stand in the back of the room. You don't really want to put yourself out in front of people, all that kind of stuff. So it took me a really, really long time to get to the point where I was comfortable enough to, talk in front of people or be in front of people and be really comfortable. Walk into a room, and I don't care if there's strangers in there now, I'm going to find somebody to talk to about something. But I used to probably wouldn't be like that, especially as a child. I would never have done anything like that. And I think part of that has still with me a lot. As an adult, I still have some of those tendencies that I had when I was a child like that. And just dealing with that every day is learning to, cope with that. You can always change the way you act around people. But it all comes with, just getting more and more comfortable with yourself and having pride and having good self-esteem and things like that. That can change as you get into an adult. You don't have to be the same person as you was as a child, as an adult. But it does take some practice, and it just takes being a little bit bold and a little bit crazy, I guess. But you can overcome most of that.
Yeah. Yeah. How I overcame most of my issues was just stopping with all the food addiction stuff, and then stopping drinking and drugs. Like I was a hot mess, just like felt like shit all the time, and then angry all the time because I was once I got rid of all that, like I'm like, cool, man. Like I can go just hang out and have a good time and not have to worry about stuff.
Where did that come from? Like, did that just come from like teenage years on up, or did you not do that as teenager?
I started smoking weed at like age 15, and then it went like this. I started smoking weed like every day, and then all of a sudden, like I moved to Ohio, Northeast Ohio. And I don't know if you've ever been there, but man, that place is like cloudy.
I've been to Cleveland. Is it near Cleveland?
Cleveland, Northeast Ohio is Cleveland. Like I live in Akron, kind of Cleveland area for like 5 years. And I had to get out of there because of the weather. And my drinking and drug use is like skyrocketed. Then I moved to Nashville, got worse, and I just quit like 6 years ago. But But yeah, I used to, man. It was a nightmare being on the road and like trying to do my job. And just I couldn't like hold a tool, and like I'd be sweating. I need like alcohol to function properly. So that was.
One of the things that I think that helps me cope too, and I've gotten better with it over the past couple of years, is I use social media as an outlet for me to get out the things that I need to get out, not in a negative way. I don't really want to hurt people's feelings, but humor is a big thing for me. I try to turn anything into something humorous or something funny. And so I try to pull everything that goes on with my job or my career, and even some things with my family. And I try to kind of package that all into something that's, quite humorous a lot of times. And then I put that out there, and other people seem to enjoy it. But I think that's one reason, I like social media, is because I think of it kind of almost like as a therapy. I can go on and say, hey, this was a crappy day, and this is why, and, I'm ready to get home. But then the positive things is I'm happy this happened, and I'm happy I'm here, and I'm happy I'm doing this. I think that a lot of people look at it that way also. But you balling on social media, you're all over it. You're posting all the time, and you got the platform that you built, but you don't, you're in it, but you're not like completely in it, like all the time, so
Yeah.
That, do you feel that helps you, or is that?
So yeah, it does with staying connected with people, but at the same time, like I'm connected to too many people, so it's
Yeah, yeah,
overwhelming.
yeah,
But I use it as a creative. I have like all these different like kind of like side projects with like my photography stuff, and like I just got so many accounts across
yeah,
all these
yeah, yeah,
channels,
yeah.
and I love doing creative stuff, whether it's video or photography or digital marketing. So it's always been like try to create more stuff than consume. Because once I
Yeah,
go
yeah.
down
That's the issue.
the doom scrolling hellhole,
Yeah, yeah,
then that can
yeah.
be kind of mentally draining. I try to stop myself doing that. I think a lot of people have issues with social media where they're not creating anything. They're just like looking at other people's stuff
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and just makes them kind of feel sad about whatever, or it triggers them. So you got to be really careful with that. That's a whole
That's
nother
the biggest
addiction.
thing is I think helping, and I'm definitely not a mastermind at it, but the creating things that people enjoy and just getting the response of, hey, that made a difference, what you said, or that helped me through this, or, not that you're looking for any kind of glorification, but just to know that you may help somebody with something that, and when I go to a conference or I go out, the first thing somebody usually asks me is, how's your daughter? How's your family? Because I
Yeah,
post a
yeah,
lot about them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then they're like, hey, I really like what you do, and keep it up. I look forward to the things that you post, and that really does make you feel good because hopefully somebody is taking something away and they're learning something, and just if you're making somebody feel better, it usually makes you feel better.
Yeah. And you do a really good job, especially on and Facebook, LinkedIn and Facebook, where your stuff it's different.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably a good way to put it.
I mean, in like the best way,
Yeah,
because there's so much just kind of just boring shit on LinkedIn,
yeah,
and like
yeah,
your stuff. I mean, people love yours because you're not a threat to anybody really. You're more of like an
yeah, yeah.
asset, like because
Okay, yeah,
you're a
yeah,
wealth of knowledge. People aren't like, oh, Lee's out to get me. He's like, no, Lee's out to help people, So
yeah,
like
yeah,
nobody, you're not a target.
yeah. That's
People
true.
want to consume your content and love it.
Uh,
So yeah, I'm
well, like
glad.
so, I think and one of the things like with you, you're kind of like almost you're a mystery, really. I mean, we've been friends for a couple of years now since we did a podcast, and we keep in touch with each other. But I've never even had. I don't have your cell phone number. But people are like, "Oh, you're good with Blake. I need to talk to him." I'm like, I don't even know if I don't even have his phone number. So it's like, you're kind of like that's what makes it intriguing. I think people are drawn to your platforms and stuff because you're kind of like a 30-sided Rubik's cube. You're complicated and kind of mysterious and kind of all in one package. And
Yeah.
that's a draw in itself too. So, but when you get to know you, you're I mean, it's different, than what you see. And I appreciate that you've kind of allowed me to come in and be a small part of what you do. And I like the whole platform as a whole because it's just a wealth of knowledge out there. And the way you're building up I guess the new and improved LVN with the projects and the
Hmm.
companies, and that's going to be a huge asset in the next couple of years with people trying to get information out there and find
Yeah.
information.
I got high hopes for that for sure. Because what I
Yeah,
was seeing on the group was people were posting jobs, people were posting projects, and they want business. So like
yeah,
why not
yeah,
build? And we're taking all the content from the Facebook groups and we're posting it on there. Then people are posting it themselves and people are signing up. So it's a huge platform for the entire community.
yeah. I like it. It's cool. One other thing I know that helps me, um, and this probably would help a lot of people is I'm not a negative person or not. I don't like negativity. I don't like people that bring negativity around me. I want everything to be positive. I don't like people to come in and if somebody's trying to work and they're just like, I don't know, that's not my job, or
Oh
that's
yeah.
not part of my responsibilities, or somebody that's always complaining and all that. If you can remove that out of your life, that's going to help tremendously with the way you feel about yourself. Negativity just a downer in itself.
It's yeah.
Always look for the positive. I'm always looking for a way that I can help somebody, whether it's locally in my town or whether it's take support over a phone. Anytime I teach a class, I give all the students my phone number, my
Mm.
email. And then if you ever have a problem, if you're ever looking for a part, if you're ever looking for a solution, a platform, shoot me an email, give me a day or two. I'll do my best to help you or put you in contact with somebody that can, because that's what we all need. We all need something positive, somebody, that we can reach out to when we do need something. And I've kind of built a network of people that I reach out to on a weekly or monthly basis for help about stuff. But negative people, you can bring that around me. I can't have it. That's just something we can't deal with.
Yeah, I unfollowed like 4,000 people on Instagram because
Oh my
I
God.
was following all this crap and I was like, I'm done
Yeah,
with
yeah,
this. And like every
yeah,
day I mute people. I don't unfollow them because I don't want to hurt their feelings, but I constantly mute people now. Like I am
yeah, yeah.
so over like other people's stuff, especially the negativity. I try not to be negative, but I am sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes something just happens and you have to you fire back a little bit. But that's natural. But the daily grind, when I wake up, I'm like, all right, today I'm gonna answer every single phone call that comes to me. I'm not gonna let anything go to voicemail. Those are
Dang.
the days, you say, I'm going to respond to every single body at a certain time. And you try to pump yourself up about it.
Yeah.
And if you did that with every aspect of your job, today I've got to pull cable or whatever. I'm going to make sure every one of them is, you know, done the way it's supposed to do. I'm going to make sure everything's terminated right. If you can push that into every aspect of your life, not just dreading what you do, and make sure you do it in a positive way, I feel like you would feel better at the end of the day about what you have to do. Like I said, this industry it can drag you down pretty quick just because it's construction. We're in the considered part of the construction industry, the low voltage industry,
Yeah.
and there's just some hardcore people out there. We all strive to do better. We all want to do better, and ultimately, when you start in this industry, you have this goal in your mind. 100K. I want to hit $100,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When I get my W-2 at the end of the year, I want it to be $100,000, and that's a good goal to have. But if it puts that much stress on you, then it's not worth it. If you're having to do that by working 40 hours overtime every single week for the whole year to get to that
Yeah.
100 grand, you're going to be wore out. You're not going to have a lot of value in yourself when you get to that point, just because it's drug you down so far. But we all want to get to the next level. I see a lot of people in the group post, I want to make the big money. How do I get to 100 grand?
Yeah.
How do I do this? And that just comes later. Don't put that as your goal. If you do your job at 110%, somebody's going to notice and they're going to be willing to pay you more. You're going to get that promotion. You don't have to just fight and fight and fight for that, hopefully. I feel like if you just set smaller goals and hit those goals, that you're better off. But trying to hit that $100,000 mark, which it seems like that's what a lot of people want to do. They want to see that there's the feeling of that is not very gratifying, because you're going to find a way to spend that money.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to be that huge bit of value when you get there. Trust
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. My life did not improve at all. I
No,
think I just bought more beer
you just
and
buy,
vodka.
you buy more stuff, you get more in debt. You're like, hey, I can go buy that new truck or that new car. That feels good for like 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, but doing a good job like every single day, just like relentlessly, and being that person that's helpful and positive, like you said, like that. So like you said, no, somebody will notice. Somebody will
Yeah.
see you doing
Oh
that
yeah.
and it will come to you. And then you'll figure out that, okay, if you do want to get to 100K, like, how do you do that? Can you be a better technician? Maybe. Can you be a salesperson or a PM? Salespeople is probably the best
Oh
paying
yeah.
job.
Yeah.
You can make
Yeah.
like 250, 300 as a salesperson. So maybe
Yeah.
consider
Yeah.
that, in your like later stages in your career.
Yeah, salespeople they really do good, but it takes a while to get there.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself a salesperson. Yes, I do have to sell when
Yeah, you
people
are.
ask, but
Yeah.
it's more like I don't go out and try to sell. It comes with the business, but I guess my approach to it is just a little different, to selling. But there are some huge paychecks and just being a salesperson. But there's a lot of stress there too. I mean, all the jobs are fairly stressful when you get to that. But
Yeah.
um, what what else is there, man? We talk about all kind of stuff. You know, what is your outlet now? Like, what do you do to relieve? I mean, do you consider yourself full-time job, like what you're doing now, or you got like you feel like you work more than 40 hours, or what do you?
Oh, yeah. Well, being a business owner and runner and manager and
Yeah,
salesperson and accountant, you're working like 12, sometimes 16-hour days. I want to build
yeah,
constantly. I just want,
yeah,
and that's why when I wake up, go to the coffee shop at 8 a.m. and then I work till like 10 p.m.
yeah,
So
yeah,
there's always something to do.
yeah.
So I guess I'm full time. I mean, it's just a different kind of like, and then I work on the weekends. Like I don't have a family or a dog or anything. Like
Yeah,
I just
yeah, yeah,
work constantly because there's a sense of urgency for me. I don't want to. I'm not poor, but like I want more money. Like my biggest
yeah, yeah.
issue in my life right now is I don't have enough money to do what I want to do.
Okay, which is like, so I mean, you're probably, I guess you're fairly comfortable when you got an apartment. You're not homeless,
Yeah,
so you're paying your bills,
yeah,
but
yeah,
your ultimate goal is to, I guess, freedom. I guess from from uh from having to work. You just you want the recurring, like a recurring platform, and that
yeah.
that would be more free up your time during the day. That's
Yeah, well, I
your
mean,
goal,
I
right?
I want to work. I'll still work. I just want
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
able to travel more.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Like in the
Yeah,
winter time, I want to go to the beach. I think
yeah, yeah.
ultimately, I think like a house or like something in Miami or Bangkok or something would be ideal. I mean, somewhere like I love Nashville,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
this winter has been brutal. Like last January with the ice storms
yeah.
and like
Oh yeah,
cloudy
yeah,
all the time. Like that's what really gets my mental health like down and out is the
yeah,
weather. I
yeah,
try not to let it do it. And I exercise even more. I go to the gym and I eat healthy, but the weather fucks me up.
yeah. Sunshine, man, is one of the biggest things. Like just to
Yeah.
get out in the sun, walk in the sun, stare at the sun. I'm all about being in the sun. Get your feet on the ground, get your
Yeah.
feet in the grass, and
Yeah.
kind of grounding yourself. I believe in all that kind of stuff, but yeah, it's hard to do in the wintertime. When you're if you're above where I'm at, even it's too cold to do that. So
Yeah.
I like Florida. I could see myself. I'd always said if I moved, I would never move anywhere north. And I'm already in South Georgia. But
That's right. Yeah.
so if I move anywhere, it would probably be south at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like the ability to you know at some point, I don't know what point it'll be. I'd like to know that I've built something with some value that that hopefully somebody would see value in, that want to buy or take over or do something with the company, that would free me up. I don't really want to work till I'm 65 or 70. I guess if I have to, I will. But good God, you talking about being depressed? I just don't think I can do that, man. I don't really want
When
to
you're
do that.
65, really? That's
Yeah, I just
still
don't think I want to like be full time working like hard as I am now. That's like
really.
for years. I want some freedom too, and that's one of the things I think that it's a little scary, is if at what point do you let go? Are you comfortable saying, all right, I can work part-time now and still live the same lifestyle that I did while I was working full-time or something like
Yeah.
that? At what point do you feel like you're ready to kind of call it quits, or that kind of scares me a little bit as I get older, because I don't know what that magic number is.
Yeah. See, I just I don't think we have much longer. Like, I think the world's going to explode in like 7 years. So,
I mean, yeah, probably so. I mean, I'd imagine so. Once all the fiber to the home is deployed, then it's going to be in. That's the end of the world.
yeah. Once they turn on the 5G, once they turn on that frequency, it like
Yeah,
blows everybody's brains up.
yeah. Ooh, yeah,
But
that's
it's
and
interesting. In the next, I guess, like 20 years, I'll be 61. I just turned 41 today, but it's going to be a completely different world.
oh yeah, yeah.
Like all
I
this
don't.
artificial intelligence shit's going to like take over.
Yeah, it is. Did you see the boxing match between the robot and the human?
No, man, I've seen
Oh,
like all sorts of robotic stuff. I watch this stuff constantly at
all right.
nighttime, but
So there was a
I'm,
video that came out. Do you remember the movie I, Robot? Right, with Will
yeah,
Smith.
yeah,
This
yeah,
this was just recently. I don't even know, just within the past month or two. So they built this robot, and he's a boxing robot. So it was like robot versus human. The robot beat his ass. I mean, just
yeah.
flat knocked him out. It was crazy, and it was just like, because the guy, he couldn't respond. Like, as soon as he was trying to pull back, the robot was just on him, just knocked him out completely. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. So yeah, AI, man, it's kind of scary where we're going. I mean, it's already scary enough that we carry these phones around with us every day, and somebody knows what we do every day and where we go.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They already know that, but with the AI, the way it's coming out, it is really scary about where technology is going to be in the next 20 years. I don't know. I'd be really tempted to not even have a phone at some point. Really, just to, I don't know. I don't. I worry a little bit about the. I'm not scared of like digital currency, but I do worry about a cashless society. Digital currency is fine with me, but I don't care about going fully cashless. I don't like the idea of that. So there's
Yeah.
just things out there that I don't try not to think about too much, because then you kind of go
Yeah.
down a
Well, that's the
rabbit hole.
thing. Like, there's so much uncertainty right now.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
there's no direction or leadership in
yeah,
America right now.
yeah,
So that
yeah,
makes people kind of like depressed, or like kind of like, well, what am I going to do with my life?
yeah,
What about my
yeah.
kids? Like, what the fuck are they going to do? So,
Yeah, I think the same thing. Like for my daughter, I'm like, she's 15 now, and so in 3 years she'll be going to college. But I feel like college is such a business now, and
yeah,
what are you really even paying for it? Because it's been watered down. Most college curriculums are watered down, just like the high school curriculums.
yeah,
And they're not teaching you really how to make a living, and how to be a good citizen. They're not really teaching you the right skill sets a lot of times. So I worry about that a lot. I'd like to see her do something in the trades. Maybe we'll mixed in with a little bit of college, to make it. Uh, I just feel like you're going to have some form of trade to really make it in the future, because AI can only do so much, but you can't replace what these hands can
I
do.
don't know, man. Those robots, like, what is it? So is it figure, and then the Tesla bot, the Optimus
Yeah,
one? They're moving
yeah,
quick.
yeah,
Like, they're going to replace. They already got them in factories. The Amazon
yeah.
factories already got a bunch of robots walking around and shit.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And it's coming quick. They're going to replace
yeah.
the factory jobs, and then before you know it, they're going to be terminating cable and like running the fiber and all that.
Whew, yeah, that. I mean, I ain't saying they can't do it, because they'll probably come up with something that can. But
Because they
yeah,
learn, they can take in all the information. They're multimodal. They can see stuff, they can hear
yeah,
stuff, they can learn by spoken word, and they're gonna figure it out. That's the thing. It's like, it's gonna, all of a sudden the switch is gonna be flipped, and automation's just gonna like just be out of control. That's like
yeah,
one of the paths that could possibly it could possibly
like a
take.
pack of robots will jump out of one of these vans with 100 ladders on it, start pulling cable in a building.
It's going to be crazy, man. They're going to be going nuts. It's happening right now.
Yeah. It's
Like
crazy.
we can't see past that event horizon. Like once the singularity of these machines, and then if you get like the biotechnology stuff, like we don't know what's beyond that, and it's coming at like a very rapid pace.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it. I mean, it could put us out of a job at some point. I had to figure out how to do something else. I can start a pressure washing company or something. You know, something that's pretty easy. Sell sunglasses on the beach or something. You know?
Something, man.
Yeah.
But we'll wrap this up. But what keeps me kind of motivated and pumped up, it all goes back to the diet and the exercise, and then not caring about what other people think. Like we always look for like validation on like social media and like, oh God, what did Johnny say about my picture I posted? You know, you got to let all that shit go. You got to take care of your body and take care of your mind. And like now I don't care if the robots take over. I don't care if I lose all my money in my apartment. Like I know that I can like figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So what would be like your biggest fear, I guess? Like what are you like? Is it the unknown, I guess you say? Is that of what's gonna not really even with work. Your biggest fear of life itself, I suppose, not really work related.
I just fear die. I don't want to die. Like I don't.
No, you don't want to die. Okay,
yeah,
you're gonna live.
Like people with like substance abuse problems, like drug addicts and alcoholics, like they want to get as high as possible and stay alive and feel it.
Yeah.
But people with mental health disorders, like they want to kill themselves. So like that's what kind of like differentiates the people. Like my biggest fear is death. Like, but other than that, I've been so low and rock bottom and lost everything. Like if that happens again, like I can figure it out. Like as long as I'm still alive, I'm good to go, baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So what's your big takeaway? What's your big piece of advice for people that like maybe they're in the field kind of struggling, or like don't
put all your faith in the dollar. You know, the dollar's not going to get you really that ultimate feeling of happiness, I guess you want to say. It's temporary. I think for people in the field that are really struggling with where they want to be and what they want to do, I think it's a mindset thing. You really have to have some self-discipline with your brain as far as, and it can start very small, like with food, you know, with smoking or with addiction. If you let those things rule your life, that's what's going to rule your life. You know, I think if you focus on doing positive things throughout the day, you know, look for somebody to help. Look for one thing that you could do in the day where you can look back on that day and say, I'm proud that I did that. Yeah. I'm proud that you went that way. Just one thing every single day. Wake up in the morning and think, all right, I'm going to look purposefully to do one thing today that when I look back at the end of the day that I'm going to say that helped somebody, that did something for somebody. And there's that one little thing, self-control, whether it's anger. If you change that one thing, it's going to flow to other aspects of your life, and you'll see that change over a few months or a few weeks and up to a year later, you're a totally different person.
That year. Yeah. I always say like, do something every single day for 365 days. And like your life will be completely different.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
As long as it's something positive.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah. All right. So last question, what industry conference has given you the most benefit? I know Bixie, you just got back from Bixie. That looked like a lot of fun. I kind of missed.
Yeah.
Had some FOMO, but
you know, I've been to Bixie now. I've probably been to like 20 conferences if you count winter and fall conferences. Some other ones that I go to, I've been to regularly. I've only been to one of the ISCs. I've been to a couple of GSX conferences. Those are the security ones. I guess my most investment would be the Bixie community. And I feel like there again, that is more, I use that community as almost as a therapy, you know what I'm saying? So those friends that I've built into that network are people that I call on and that when I need something or when I need help or just to celebrate something or just to talk, you know, I've got a lot of friends in that community, and that's really what it's all about. You know, Bixie is what Bixie is. It's a corporation, but the networking of the people that you get involved with, that's what elevates you, and that's where you can get your growth at. So if you can walk into a room and learn how to walk into a room and say, I'm Lee Renfroe, I'm from Georgia, and this is what I do. And they say, hey, I do the same thing. This is what I do. And then that becomes your basis of who you are, and you build a network of people. So yeah, that community of people that's why I keep going back. It's really not about Bixie. It's not really about the education, which that's kind of a secondary thing.
Yeah.
It's about the people and how you can grow with them, what you can learn from them. Those guys, I mean, I've met some guys that are retired, but there's a huge wealth of information there that you can get from them and guidance. So,
yeah. And that's the same thing with college. If you find the right university, college, or whatever, you got to go for the networking and the community. Don't go for the education. Well, the education is important if it's a good school or whatever.
If it's a good school,
yeah. But it's you got to make the most of it. Like you got to make you find your tribe, you get friends, colleagues, coworkers. You got to find all that there. So it's good advice.
Cool,
man.
Well, happy birthday, man. I'm glad you took some time today and set this up.
Yes, sir. Have fun. What are you doing today? You're tomorrow.
So I'm in Virginia this week. So I'm teaching a fiber class. There's a local municipality here in Martinsville, Virginia, that they do fiber to the home company through the local city. Mm-hmm. And there's actually a college here that is a technical college. So I've partnered with them, and we've created a fiber academy, pretty much, that they're going to offer statewide. So it's pretty cool. I was here a couple of weeks ago, and I got to meet the governor of Virginia. I got to show him like some splicing stuff and explain the curriculum to him and stuff. It was so cool. I'm like, here I am. I'm like a redneck from Georgia, and the governor of Virginia is walking in a suit and tie, and they're like, they had emailed everybody like, oh, we don't want anybody wearing jeans. And I was like,
come on.
I was like, yo, sorry, because all I own is jeans, so he's coming to meet me in my blue jeans. So, but yeah, it all was super smooth. The college is wonderful. It's called New College Institute. They're a wonderful group of people. They're super nice.
Yeah.
And they really are really excited about the fiber program that we've kind of built here. So I'll be coming up here like once every 2 months, probably to teach a class for the next, at least I hope for the next year or so. But yeah, they've got a lot of stuff planned.
Martinsville, Virginia, is that where it is?
Martinsville, Virginia. It's a small town, but there is a NASCAR racetrack here. But other than that, there's really not a lot of other stuff. Kind of a small town USA kind of a place.
Yeah. So these are my people, because I went to community college, and that's where I learned network engineering. Went to Guilford County Community College.
Where was that at?
It's in Jamestown, North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty. Yeah. This is right across the North Carolina line. I'm like 20 miles from the North Carolina line.
Yeah. And see, these are good colleges, because you go there for like a reason. You go there to like learn how to like run cable or like do electrical work. It's just
they've got a like a cyber security academy.
Yeah.
They do stuff with wind turbines, robotics. I mean, they've got some pretty cool stuff here. But yeah, these technical colleges that's, to me, like I said, that's where the most value you can get for your dollars if you're going to get an education.
Yeah, and it's cheap. It's cheaper than like Harvard.
Oh yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, so I think I shared this out on LinkedIn. I don't know. I always try to reshare your training events.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate it. I see you do that, and I try to give you a props for doing that. It's awesome.
Yeah. So keep pumping these out, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've got my trainings booked up until pretty much like May or June even. I've got several classes booked out. I'm really excited because I'm going to be down at Vertical Cable's headquarters in Florida.
Fort
Lauderdale.
Doing
a class. Yeah, they're in Pembroke Place, which is right near Hollandale Beach. So we're going there in April. Man, you need to just come down there where you can do all your remote stuff. Come down there with us and hang out.
Yeah, yeah.
You can do your stuff
Is
remote.
Mike going to be there?
Yeah, but I think Mike's going to be there. I don't know if I think he lives in that area, if I'm not sure.
He
So
does,
I
yeah.
hope he comes. But that whole family that owns that vertical cable, that they're a really awesome group. You know, they're really good people. So they're wanting to do a class, and we're going to highlight a lot of their fiber equipment because they're coming out with some new products and things like that. So we're going to build all that into the class. And then in May, I'm going to be back at Advantage Electronics with Mike and Kelly.
Yeah,
and,
that's right.
They're awesome. And you need to plan
Yeah.
to come to that too, man, because we're going to probably go to a Braves game too. So
Okay. So Florida, yeah. So I can come, just show up and hang
yeah,
out
man,
and get
come
some.
on.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna.
you know that's like prime spring break time. I mean, you're single, you can go out. I'll be back at the hotel drinking coffee, but you can go out and do whatever you need to do. You know.
I don't drink anymore, man. I'll just go and I'll go for a run. I'll go for a run
There
and
you go.
drink some water.
There you go. Yeah, jump in the pool.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, you're killing it with the training stuff. I love it.
Hey, I seen you did a cold plunge the other day.
Oh my God.
Did you do that? Where
What
you
was
jumped
it?
in the pool?
Everybody's doing it now, man. I see it all over they
Do you
leave the
think that? I
pools.
mean, I've heard that really mentally and physically that's a really good thing to do. But dude, I just can't. I don't think I can do it. If I get in cold water, when it gets mid thigh on me, I'm done. I'm over. I can't go no cold. I can't go no deeper in that water.
Yeah, they leave the pools open. That's a new thing, I guess. They leave them open all year round so people can do that.
Yeah.
So on it was New Year's Day, my apartment complex organized like a whole cold plunge. I did it. It was cool.
Yeah.
Everybody just got out immediately. It was like 0.2 seconds. They were just out. I stayed in for 5 seconds and I was like, I'm done.
Have you ever got down in a bucket of ice like they do? Like those ice?
No,
plunges?
It's supposed to release a ton of dopamine.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I've taken cold showers before, but
yeah, I used to do that, but I don't know. I don't like being cold, man.
No, I don't like that either. I jump out of the shower and just go straight to the bed and get in the covers. You know, yeah. I'm ready. It's crazy.
All right, man. Well, it's good talking to you.
Yeah, man. Peace out. Let me know about Florida.
I will. Yeah, definitely.
All right. See you. All right.